Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager on the PS5. It's round 18 of our third and final season with Williams. And we're going to Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. First up, apologies for not streaming on Friday. I wasn't very well for all of last week. I was struggling as the week went on. And Friday I just was not up to it, and I actually spent most of Saturday in the hospital. So I'm kind of a little bit under the weather still. I'm going to be not quite as energetic, I suppose, as normal, I think, for tonight's stream. We'll see how we go, but if I don't stream anymore or on odd days this week, it's because I'm still not well. So touch wood, we'll be okay, and we'll get through the week fine, but just a little warning, heads up for you guys. Right, so back to the race. We are pushing on towards the end of the season. Just 5 races to go now, including this one. We are dominating all the championships at the moment. You can see there we are a huge number of points ahead of Ferrari, but they are in a tight battle with Red Bull and Mercedes, just kind of keeping a watching brief, but not that far away in the grand scheme of things. And then if we look at the Drivers' Championship, again you can see our drivers first and second, miles clear of everybody else, and it is looking more and more like it is going to be George Russell's season, that he is going to be a world champion at the end of the year. So, question is, can he keep that form going? Can Pierre Gasly mount some kind of last-minute fight back? Time will tell. Let's advance a little bit of time, get ourselves ready for the Grand Prix. There we go, we've got some spare front wings. Let's check in with our inbox. Yeah, we've got 5 front wings, that's fine. Board has high confidence in our leadership, and the season ends in 1 month. No, wait, that's our next review. Well, it doesn't end in 1 month. We've got 2 months left, I think. Well, maybe it is only 2 months. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's have a quick look at the calendar. Let's have a look. So there's our board review. Just there. Then we've got 1 final ATR period, and then, yeah, 2 Grand Prix after that. Sao Paulo and Abu Dhabi. So, yeah, 1 more monthly review and then our end of season review. We're almost home and hosed. Let's have a look. Do we have a weather report? We do, and it's going to be a wet weekend. We've got a very wet race and some rain on Friday as well. Let's set some targets. We're not setting qualifying targets because it's starting at the back. Finish position. We're going to go for the 1-2. Finish position streak is already sort of set. We can't change that. And we're not going to set a quali streak for the same reason as we're not setting quali targets. Let's check our car going into the Grand Prix. Oh wow, we have taken a big hit on speed. Look at that, we're 14th now in top speed. So these last to first challenges are going to get harder and harder with every closing race. Even our cornering is taking a bit of a knock now. So let's have a little comparison with Ferrari. Wow, Ferrari's car is still an absolute turd, really. Look at that, 16th in speed. Really bad in cornering and in the dirty air, and not that great in the DRS either. In fact, the only thing they've got going for them is their cooling. Let's have a look at Red Bull. Red Bull have the second fastest car. Let me just have a look at Max. Who has got the fastest car? Because it's not one of the Red Bulls. Could it be a Mercedes? No, it's not. It's not a Mercedes. Who's got the fastest car? I'm genuinely curious here. Wow, AlphaTauri's pace, they've really picked up, look. It's not Alfa Romeo, don't tell me it's Aston Martin. Who has got the fastest car? Ah, there we go. Joe's got the fastest car. That makes sense, considering his form in recent races. Wow, yeah. Okay, so we're up against it in this Grand Prix, potentially. We're going to obviously throw Ollie in for some reserve practice sessions. Let's check our pit crew. Wing adjustment is slowly improving. Facility wise, everything there is kind of taken care of. So let's go to the race weekend.
Konnichiwa from the Suzuka circuit in Japan. This unique track is a favourite home for motorsports, and it welcomes us back this weekend. Get ready for exhilaration and speed with the Japanese Grand Prix. Drivers will battle it out this weekend on the snaking turns of Suzuka, the only figure-of-8 track in Formula One. High-speed downforce will be the name of the game here, if teams want to secure a place on that podium. This is it. We're down to the last few races of the season, and it's time for that final push. Who will be crowned champion at the end of it all? We'll find out soon enough. Let the weekend begin!
Let's say hello to the chat. Evening there, Patkins, Marcel, Jason, good to see you guys. Thank you, Patkins. Hopefully I'll be feeling better over the next few days. Let's go into getting set up. It's Pierre's turn to sit a session out, I think. Let's put in some practice parts. Yeah, we can squeeze in a little bit more runtime on that engine there. Did we want to try and see what happens? I think we do. Yeah, let's see. It's only Ollie, so it's not fatal if he doesn't do a full session. We want to see if that part will actually finally give up the ghost completely. Gearbox, we'll go with that gearbox. And that one. There we go, cars have got the practice parts in. Setups. We're going to go with very, very similar setups. So let's go with a 7.5, 12.5, 4.6, 3.5 and a 0, and that is definitely not going to fit. And that really throws out pretty much every setup I've got. Let me try 5.5. No, 5.5 is not going to work either. Okay, we're going to have to go very different on this. Alright, I'm going to just eyeball it and go with that. see what happens. We're going to go with a 17 lap run plan for Suzuka. And then for Ollie, I'm going to go with 20 laps of fuel because we're probably just going to manage just one run. I don't think the car's going to last long enough for a second run. Let's have a look at the setup on this one. So 7.5, 12.5, 4.6, 3.5 and a 0, and that is right on the cusp. Let's pull it back to a 7. There we go. So some very different setups there. Let's see if they're correct.
And radio check. Yep. And green light.
There we go. So this engine should be smoking, flaming, the works, and well, it doesn't seem to be doing anything at the moment. It's just working. So I don't know if this is a bug or if this is just sloppy coding. But yeah, this engine shouldn't be able to run. And here we are. Churning out lap times. All right, speed things up a bit. So it's quite fortuitous that we are winding down with Williams. Oh, I think Behrman has finally given up. Okay, that's a shame. I actually wanted to see that happen. I just suddenly spotted him slowing down, and it was too late to switch to his car by that point. How many laps did he manage? 4, 5 laps. Not a huge number. Didn't get that much in the way of time on track, and he only got 2 bars of setup. But we have finally killed an engine through practice. I was curious as to whether that would actually happen or not, and now we know it does. It does actually happen. So there we go. But yeah, as I was about to say before Behrman crapped out on us there, it's kind of fortuitous timing that we're winding down on the Williams season. Gives us time to maybe squeeze in one more season with Aston Martin. Because F1 Manager 23 has been announced. And that's all that's been announced so far, is that F1 Manager 23 is coming. But we don't know when, we don't have any more details, just that it's been announced. The website simply says coming soon, and there will be more details soon. That's all we know so far. So I'm looking forward to finding out more information on that. Hopefully sprint races will be included this time. Hopefully a lot of features will be improved upon. I'm hoping there'll be a bit more depth to the management side of it, that there'll be more difficulty to the game, because it is very easy once you've figured it out. But we'll just have to wait and see. I have to wait and see what happens. I will almost certainly end up getting it on day one. But
Someone's run wide.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. So it should be good. In theory. I mean, they've got solid foundations to build from. Oh, someone's in the barrier. That is that a Mercedes?
Yellow flag.
It is.
Let's
It's
take a
Ricardo.
closer look. Daniel Ricciardo
Thought I saw silver
involved here.
bodywork go flying.
And there we see the crash.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys abreast of any news as it gets released. Touch wood, like I said, we're going to get some big improvements. I mean, they've got solid foundations to start, building upon. The game is a little bare bones in some aspects, but it plays well for for what it is. It looks good. It runs well. It does need an overhaul in some places and some tweaking in others. And fingers crossed, a lot of the things that we'd like to see get added into the game will at least be addressed, whether they make it into this game or they are, acknowledged and, going to be worked on for the next iteration after this. We shall see. Okay, that's a very drastic change to the setup there. Let's see how that works. Evening, Anthony. Speaking of sprint races, we had our first sprint race in this year's F1 calendar. It wasn't exactly an exciting Grand Prix at Baku. The sprint race was pretty blah. The Grand Prix was pretty blah. It's just not that much excitement, really. Bit of a shame. I look forward to Baku because it usually churns up some interesting racing, but it was just a little processional. The only thing that really kept me interested was seeing whether or not Red Bull would tell Sergio to pull over and let Max through, which they, to their credit, they didn't. Although if I was Checo, I would have outright refused if I'd been given that.
We've had a crash.
The main complaint you had was qualifying was on Friday. I kind of like the idea of the sprint being completely self-contained.
Couple of cars off there. Copy.
But I don't know. I mean,
think there's been contact on the track.
The only way around that really would be to extend Sunday to the point where you have qualifying early and then you have the race after, but then you don't have time. If there's a crash in quali, you don't have time to get the car prepped for the race. Yeah, I don't know. You would trash sprint quali. Well, how would you decide how they line up in quali then? Reverse grid for the sprint. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sold on sprint racing as a concept. I mean, we've had some exciting sprint races in the last couple of seasons. Brazil springs to mind.
How was the balance? All good.
But
Copy that.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much of a traditionalist, too much of a purist. I just like the concept of the traditional weekend. But I understand I understand that they want to try and make it more exciting across the whole weekend rather than just for an hour and a bit on Saturday and then for the race on the Sunday. So yeah, I can kind of understand why they've gone with sprint racing, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out over the whole season.
Alright, buddy, good job once again. See you in the office shortly.
Alright, there we go. So practice is done. Ollie didn't really get much time on track, and we didn't get a setup run finished for Checo, so that's not Checo. For Pierre, so that's going to hinder things a little bit, especially going into the next session. We do now need to put in a new engine, so we'll go with that engine there. Let's drop the driving options. I'm going to go with 30 laps of fuel because we're getting rain, so I don't think we're going to have time to do a full run. I'm going to go with medium tyres in this session. Let's have a look, see what feedback we did get, if any. Oh, it's not good. So that's a 13.5. Let's go with a 6.4, 3.5 and a 0. These are the setup values that we used with our Aston Martin file the other day. I'll just make a slight tweak and do that. Yeah, there we go. Actually, now we'll push that to there, and I will bring that back in a touch. There we go. So let's have a look at George. Gonna make a couple of tweaks here. We're just great on most things, nothing stellar. Let's push that up to a 7.5. Let's just heard some rustling. I was wondering what was going on. A bag of crisps just fell over. Let's make a change to the camber. A little tweak to the toe. Yeah, let's give that a try. And again, we'll go with about 30 laps of fuel. But we're probably going to not get anywhere near the 30 lap run. Actually, no, it's... George, he doesn't need that much fuel. He only needs about 22 laps of fuel. There we go. And let's go to practice 2. Evening, Mr. Water.
Radio check, radio check. Yeah, all good.
Okay, so rain is scheduled around about 17-18 minutes in.
We've just had a car run wide. That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
Oh, we've had a crash. It's at the hairpin. Is it? Don't tell me it's Magnussen.
There's been a crash.
That's for sure. I was going to say, can you imagine? Magnussen spent all Thursday just crashing into that corner on our Aston Martin file, and then starts doing the same here on this file as well. That would just be too much.
Someone spun out.
Alright, can we get full feedback before the rain comes in? I think we should.
What was the balance,
Oh,
please?
73, that's not great. I'm going to keep him running until the rain hits. Just get him some more time on track. What about Russell?
Oh, did someone run wide there?
We have a little bit more rain coming.
Yeah, copy.
Actually, let's call him in
Any
now.
comments on balance?
Very, very good job, guys.
88.
Copy that.
I think we went backwards on that, didn't we? Made some progress. Oh, okay, so still a way off. Need to bring that back to about there. Alright, let's try that. This is definitely a new setup for the book. I wonder if the setup system is even going to be the same in the next game. That could be completely different. That's just going to be into weather. Yeah, I wonder if we'll actually have proper, performance based on how you set the car up, rather than just getting it into, position with the sliders. So many unanswered questions right now. So we want that to be somewhere around about there. Tweak the front wing to there. I really need to be careful not to mess with the wings too much. Or at least the rear wing. I think that might be a fraction too much. We'll try it. We'll see what happens. Let's put on some inters on this car as well.
A bit of rain on the track. Copy.
There we go. Let's Gasly back out. And George.
Who's running wide there?
Alright, someone has crashed. Not
Sounds
sure
like there's
where.
been a
Oh,
crash.
yeah, it's the usual suspect. Turn 11.
How is the balance, please?
I'm really pleased.
Yeah, 89 isn't too bad.
Okay,
It's
happy with that.
not great, but it's something to build on. It's a big improvement on where we were.
How was the balance?
And 97 is a definite improvement for George. We'll call him in. And Gasly will run to the flag.
Rain's just stopped. Copy.
Good session, well done.
Okay, we've got a few penalties going into this Grand Prix. We've got a penalty for Ricciardo, Schumacher and Perez. Just those three at the moment.
We'll be kicking off today.
Right, minor tweaks. So I need to pull that back to there and then correct that back to there. That should theoretically be it. We're going to go with the hard tyres. And we're going to run for 22 laps. Should be enough. Gasly's going to need to run for pretty much the entire session. So we really need to nail this setup here. I'm going to go with a 7.3. Pull that back to an 8. I need to push that back to, I think, maybe there. And let's just hope I've gone the right way with this. Run plan for this one is going to be 36 laps.
Radio check. Radio check.
Radio check, okay.
Oh, more smoke. Oh, this is Russell's engine about to give up, isn't it? What's that running at now? 3%. Okay, so we'll be retiring this engine, I think, after this Grand Prix. 97. Ah, we nearly nailed it. Got to keep him running though. Need that track time. So we've got to wait for Russell's feedback. And Russell we got
Okay,
right.
Comments on balance.
So we can bring him in once he gets past the half-hour mark. There we go. Get that smoking wreck off the track. Okay, we're up to 87% on track knowledge. If we had 100% setup confidence, that would be enough. It's not, so we need to get him up to 91, 92, I think. There we go. He's at 92%, so let's call him in. So give me a chance to have a quick look and see if it's a quick and easy fix. To get him all the way up to 100 on his setup. Oh, it's the front wing. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know if I want to mess with that. I mean, if I could go back to that. Dial that in that way. Yeah, we'll gamble. Gasly has to take the gamble, really, I think. Actually, no, he doesn't. He's already at the 15 out of 15, so it's not really going to make any difference. It's just me trying to get a 100% setup. Yeah, session's done.
It's a good session all in all, I think. Still learned a lot.
So, we're not going to qualify, so we won't know if that change is going to work until the Grand Prix itself. Anyone else picked up a penalty? Nope, just those three still. So, we are going to be sitting at the back of the grid for a dry quali. Let's put in race parts. Let's see, after Suzuka, we've got Kota, Mexico, Sao Paulo, and Yas Marina. I'm trying to think which engines are going to be the best ones to run. It's a wet race, so let's go with the weaker engines. And we'll save the last remaining engine for the final four races. Right, better gearboxes. Now off we go.
The radio is good. You can hear me, yeah?
Sending Gasly out just to
Radio
do
check. Okay. Radio check.
an
Okay.
exploration lap. I'm going to bring him in at the end as soon as he gets out the garage. I'm going to call him straight back in again. This is just so I can get a feel for what his setup's actually going to be. There we go. Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah, we did nail it. Okay, I feel quite good about that.
Someone's run wide.
Alright, let's see if they actually go out and set a time, or if they're all going to peel out with not enough time to start their final lap. Nope, they're going out normal time. They should all make it across the line. Just. So let's see who joins us in the elimination zone. Joe being down there has got to be him being held up. Yeah, he jumped way up the order there. Schumacher gets a really big drive. Look at that. He's up to... Well, it's dropping down a little bit now, but he's above his teammate. So, Ricciardo in P2 but has a penalty. Schumacher's got a new engine, I'm guessing, which is why he's out-qualified Joe. Perez struggling, despite the what I'm guessing is a new part. And we're joined in the drop zone by Albon, Pourchaire and Tsunoda. The rest of the qualifying is going to be simulated now, so we won't know.
Tension continues to build here as race day begins.
Williams has been struggling this weekend, as reflected by their current grid position.
Yeah, we won't know until we actually get to the Grand Prix itself.
Worse results. This has the potential to be an exciting race for them. While this isn't the strongest grid position for Ferrari, qualifying isn't everything. I'm curious to see if they can go against the tide and make this race work for them. The weather is very overcast here, and teams are staring at the sky, watching for the first sign of rain. Strategies might have to be quite flexible going into today's race.
But now it's time for the team's cunning to emerge and for the driver's talent to shine. Let's see what's in store for us at the Japanese Grand Prix.
Alright, just have a look at quali results. Max on pole, Joe is second. Wow, look at that. He is in a very quick car. Alpine of Ocon third, Magnussen fourth, Bottas fifth, Ricciardo sixth with a penalty. Sainz in seventh, Perez eighth with a penalty, Vettel ninth, Stroll 10th, Alonso 11th, Leclerc only qualified 12th. Wow. Yeah, it's not going well for Ferrari at the moment. Not going well for them at all. I mean, we saw at the start of the stream just how bad their car is at the moment. Let's see. Let's do a position gain. I think that's the way our drivers are going to finish up. Let's see if we can pull that off and earn ourselves a whopping 5 million. We'll lose 1 million if we fail. So I'm really hoping we pull this one off. Let's have a look at the weather prediction, and yeesh, yeah, that's heavy rain coming. Can I get through this without having to change the softs? Yes, I can. The question is now, do I do 5 laps on the inters before I switch to the full wets? Or do I just go straight to full wets? I think I kind of gotta go on the inters first. There we go. Going to update the strategy. We're going to take a lap of fuel out. There we go. Driving options. We're going to get screwed in the pit stops again. I just know we are. So we're going to go aggressive. Try and at least clear some of the slower cars if we can. Give ourselves maybe a bit more of a fighting chance in the pit lane. And let's see how we do.
It's a somewhat overcast day for the drivers, who've now taken position on the grid. And here we've got George Russell. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. Next for the team, it's Pierre Gasly. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between them and the podium. The teams are ready to go. Get ready. It's the Japanese Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Alright, Russell going around the outside of Tsunoda, or trying to. Gets the move done. Just about.
Okay, buddy, nice work.
Gasly trying to go underneath Tsunoda, but couldn't. Got blocked by Schumacher, is now having to try and go.
Just gained by Williams.
He's now getting boxed in. He might get passed by Schumacher here. As Russell gets up the inside of Porsche. Oh, we got a crash.
Car's off there. Cover it.
It's a VSC. Let's cool down the tyres.
Well done.
Sounds like a few cars have crashed. Here's the replay. Taking a look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel.
Oh yeah, clumsy.
Contact there. Oh, there's chaos on the track.
Hit him twice. Very scrappy.
That's going to be a big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover? We'll see.
Are we going to see a penalty from that? I don't know. Doesn't look like it. Field is neutralised. Will not be bunched up. But there will be a Vettel-sized gap opening up in a moment as he dives into the pits. And there he goes. Oh, and he's gone onto hard tyres. Oh, why didn't he put on another set of softs? Oh, that's his race well and truly toasted. Oh, and he hasn't changed his front wing. He hasn't got any spare front wings. Yeah, Vettel's race is done. Done and dusted. Broken front wing, wrong tyres. It's over.
Okay, push. Let's go.
Yeah, roger.
VSC ending. Let's lift off, please.
Okay.
Only can use the deploy.
Yeah.
Let's go recharge off. Recharge off. Copy.
Russell all over the back of Albon. He's going to have a run up to 130R.
Very good job.
And we'll get him. And Gasly is past Sonoda.
You can use DRS.
Nicely done.
Porsche is going to be vulnerable here. Did not get DRS. Oh, well, no one's got DRS. It's only just been switched on.
And there's
So,
an overtake from Williams.
but he will be vulnerable anyway. Gasly diving up the inside.
Okay, that's good, Pierre. Very good.
Now Russell's going to hunt down Vershaw.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
Joe and Ocon keeping pace at the front. It's going to be interesting to see how this race finishes up. I think it might come undone for Joe a little bit, just simply because of where Aston Martin are in the pit lane. He could get held up quite badly when it comes to the tyre changes to inters and wets. New fastest lap for Gasly, who is having a look at Albon, as Russell has a look at Vershaw.
Very good lap.
Can't really do anything
Recharge on.
through this section.
Yeah, copy.
See if we can get a good drive. Heading towards Spoon.
Okay, we need some deploy.
Yeah.
This could be tricky. Vershaw is right in the slipstream of Norris there. We might not get this move done. No, we didn't.
Okay, that's good. Very good.
But Gasly gets through in the background. Oh, we've got another crash. 2 cars out. It's another safety car. Oh, it's
So,
Joe.
get your safety car.
Ah.
Okay.
On Verstappen.
There's contact. It's chaos on the track. Let's see what happened there. We're just watching the Red Bull.
Max goes wide, and oh, that's a big hit. And
that caused a lot of damage.
if he's not out, that's a puncture for Verstappen. He hit that. Yeah, he got hit hard. There was sparks coming from the back there, from the wheel. So that's definitely a puncture. Oh, and his rear wing smashed to bits as well. So Verstappen's race is over.
Okay, charge on.
He's now actively just letting other cars through because his car is completely knackered. So in reality, this would be a retirement, but the game won't retire the car. So he'll just keep going. There'll be a mobile speed bump
Good job with everything so far.
for the rest of the race.
You're doing a good job.
Gio dives in. Has he got any spare front wings? His race is ruined. That would be a real shame. His other cars looking to pit. I think there's that penalty. He's going onto hard tyres. He does have a new front wing. So Vettel's coming in. Verstappen is not. Oh no, he is. He's just a long way off. He hasn't reached the final corner yet. Again, no change of front wing, but he is going out on mediums now. Let's see what Verstappen changes onto. That rear wing is just a mess. And Verstappen goes onto hards. Ocon now has a 22-second lead. Wow, Ocon is in prime position to run away with this one. He's got pretty much a pit stops lead here. This VSC has worked perfectly for him.
Come on. Copy.
And there we go.
VSC ending. VSC ending.
And DRS should be available.
So a huge couple of gaps have opened up. 5-second gap between Alonso and Leclerc. 20-second gap between Ocon and Magnussen. That's coming down slightly because the timings always get slightly elongated under a VSC. And Norris has jumped Leclerc on the start-finish straight. Let's see if we can get Russell up a couple of places here. Just going to dive up the inside. Look at the power of the DRS there. Not the DRS, sorry, the ERS, the battery.
Okay, excellent work. Keep it up. We're currently running in P10.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
And we're going to jump the Ferrari as well.
recharge on.
Okay.
There we go. Good few corners for Russell there. Spend a lap charging up behind Norris, and then try and jump him on the start straight next time round. Magnussen actually lapped 0.3 of a second quicker than Ocon. Bottas lapping nearly a second faster. Got a nice little bit of DRS there, which is probably why he was that much faster. And that Ferrari is just such a poor car at the moment. You can see that Leclerc, not even on our gearbox, and we're in harvest mode right now.
Recharge off.
Yeah, copy.
Charge off.
Copy.
And there we go. That's the move. So Russell now up to 8th place, but
Yep, fine.
25 seconds nearly off the back of Ocon. That is a pit stop. Ocon with a pit stop in hand.
I think we've had a car run wide.
Oh, more problems for Zhou. Oh, we've got a lock up. Is that someone in front of us at the barrier? It is. Oh, it's a double crash. Is that another VSC? It's got to be another VSC.
Cars off there.
If not full safety.
Copy.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now, just watch the Mercedes.
It is all
here.
kicking off.
And there's the collision. It's caused absolute carnage.
It's just a yellow flag. And a penalty for Ricciardo.
Need a recharge off.
Copy.
Well, we've had more drama in the first 10 laps of this Grand Prix than we had in the entire weekend at Baku in real life. Bit of a crazy start to the Grand Prix. And we've still got wet weather to come.
Only can use the deploy.
Copy.
Gasly just rockets his way up the inside.
Very good job, Pierre.
And he's just going to sweep past Leclerc as well. This is a carbon copy of what Russell did to both Vasseur and Leclerc here.
Good job.
And a new position, just gained by Williams.
That was a very good lap. Okay, we need some deploy.
Copy.
Another yellow flag. It's got to be another crash in front of us, surely. Well, I don't see anyone off.
That sounds like someone's
That's
gone
just
wide
Albon
there.
running wide. Another yellow flag. Now someone spins out. And now we've got a crash. It is just
Been a
kicking off
crash.
like crazy
Sounds
here.
like a single car. Let's have a look. Now, just watch the Mercedes here. There's the crash.
So much carbon fibre been lost on this Grand Prix.
The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
So that's both Mercedes ruining their races now. Bottas
there's
and
a
Ricciardo. Now Albon's spinning. What is
Take a
going
look
on?
Now look at this. It was the Alpha Tauri driver involved. And this, yes, this is where they spun out.
It's almost like it's the circus, just synchronized spinning.
Charge on, charge on.
Okay.
And we're getting close to the window for Inters. Trying to break that 1 second margin. Make it easier for Gasly to get the overtake on the start finish straight. Sainz has fought his way up to second place now, and he's 21 seconds off the back of Ocon. And given how poor that Ferrari is, I don't know if he's got the pace to catch Ocon. Gasly's going to have a look up the inside and gets the move done. Maybe there's happy hour at the bar and they're trying to bin it for an early shower. Maybe. Maybe they just don't fancy getting a bit wet. If I can trash my car before the rain falls, I don't have to sit there and freeze to death in the cockpit.
Let's go recharge on.
Copy.
And we've caught the back of this little Sainz train. So Russell's going to sit behind and get fully charged, as is Gasly. He should have enough pace to hold back Norris. Well, then again, Norris got a clean run on him.
So frustrating.
McLaren gain a position.
We are 2 minutes away from wet weather, so that's coming earlier than predicted. It's coming on lap 15 and we are due to stop on lap 17, so I might box at the end of this lap maybe? That's a risk. But it would avoid the carnage in the pits. So we get jumped by the Ferrari while we're charging up.
Don't tell me we can't do anything.
Ferrari,
Still 2 minutes. If it was 1 minute, I would have made the box, but yeah, we'll go that extra lap. We'll box at the end of the next lap. Okay, Russell is fully charged now, so let's put him back into neutral and let's call him in.
Copy.
And Gasly will call him in as well.
For pit stop, box.
So we could potentially claw back quite a bit of time here on Ocon if he misses the box, which, given where he is on track, he's highly likely to do. And the rain's starting to fall now.
Rain falling now in the pit lane.
Ocon is only just now at the pit entrance. He's not going to box. He's going to do another lap. I think everyone in front of us might, actually, I don't know, they might box, they might not. I think they might not. Oh no, they all did. Yeah, okay. Well, that's kind of screwing. Oh, we've got a crash. Oh, if this turns into a safety car.
Had a spin. Here's the replay. Daniel Ricciardo involved here. They spun the car. What?
It's just a miserable weekend. Oh, getting held in the pit lane. Oh, this is what I was worried about. We got held by someone. Not sure who. Norris, I think. Unless it was someone else going through into their box, which it might be. So right behind Norris. We should get Norris quite quickly here. Oh yeah, Norris is on wets. So we have to take advantage of these tyres while we have them.
Let's push, come on. Copy.
Let's do the same with Gasly.
Charge off.
Copy.
There we go. Gasly needs to clean out. There's Tsunoda, who's yet to box.
And a new
Ocon
position
dives into the
just
pits. He
gained
can
by
still
Williams.
probably hold the lead here. That's the crazy
We keep
thing.
an eye on the tire temperatures. We will keep an eye on tire temperatures.
Copy.
Okay, good job, we're in a good space there.
Alright, we can't afford to get held up.
You're doing a good job.
Ocon leaves the
Here's an
box.
overtake from Williams.
And he's gone full wet, so yeah, now we're in trouble. Oh, we got held up so badly that Gasly's right on us now. Okay, interesting.
Okay, that's good, very good.
Right, we have to absolutely hammer these cars now. Take advantage of this interweather while we have the inter-tyres. Haul that gap down to Ocon, because in a few laps it's going to go full wet weather.
Only can use the deploy.
Okay.
Don't tag each other, for God's sake. So 15 seconds off, but that gap's going to start plummeting. We've already pulled out 4.5 seconds on sights. There he is in the background. There's the 4-minute warning for the full wet weathers. At the very least, we have to gap Sainz so that we can keep track position against him. Even if we do catch Ocon and manage to get past him, I don't think we're going to be able to build up a big enough gap before we make the pit stop. Another lockup.
Is that a lockup? Let's see what happened there. Now let's have a look. It's Lance Stroll.
Will the interweather hurt the full wet weather tyres? They will overheat until it gets wet enough, so they will wear out a little bit faster. But primarily they're just going to be slow until the amount of weather picks up. So, I mean, you can see here, we don't have an actual time for Ocon on the last lap because he came out of the pits at the start of the last lap. But when he crosses the line, he's going to cross the line in 3rd place, I think. Given how quickly we're eating into that gap, it's just 8.5 seconds. I think that's 7 seconds. There's Verstappen. Oh, Russell spun. Russell. He didn't damage the car, but
let's take a closer look. Now let's look at this.
he did kind of shaft Gasly there. Whoa.
They've spun their car.
One way to make the overtake, but he's gapped his teammate by 2 seconds now. Did lose a couple of seconds to Ocon. And I have to box at the end of this lap. Otherwise, when the full wets do come, I'm going to be a sitting duck for everyone who's on the wet tyres. So it does mean that I'll be on the wrong tyre briefly, I think.
Box.
But better to go onto the full wets, you know, a minute or so early than a minute or so late. There's Ocon. I got confused because Vettel's there as well. Actually, which one is that? That is Ocon there. Vettel's in front of Ocon, about to get lapped. We're 1 minute away from full wets. Oh, and it's picking up already, look. Another lockup somewhere. It's a Ferrari. It's Leclerc into the wall.
Sounds like someone's Car's locked up.
Oh, he's just
Let's
gone wide.
Take a look at the replay. Watch this. There's Leclerc. Well, they've lost it. They've locked up.
He kept it out the barrier just. Alright, so we pulled out. Joe's up into. Joe's on the instance as well, so he's got a pit. And he's not going to do it this lap. So Joe's going to have to go another lap, and you're going to see Joe's time suddenly start to nosedive against Sainz. So he's got a big gap opening up, but it's going to disappear very quickly. And we're back out behind Sainz. Right, let's calm these tyres down now. There we go. So we are on the right tyre at just the right time, and we're 20 seconds off the back of Ocon. But you're going to see Joe get absolutely reeled in like crazy now by Sainz. He's definitely on the wrong tyre. There we go.
Nicely done.
Gasly up next.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
Joe's definitely going to dive into the pits. He's going to dive out of the way first, I think. Oh no. That's allowed Norris to close right up. There goes Show into the box. We've now lost a load more time and we're vulnerable to Norris. Meanwhile, Russell all over the back of that Ferrari. We need to get past Sainz. And we've got a very slow Verstappen in front. This could make things interesting. We've got another spin. Is that Porsche?
We've just had a crash on the track.
Now Norris has
Take a
crashed.
look now. Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris. Clearly, something went very,
And that's
very
his race
wrong
done.
there.
And I think Ocon went wide through turn 1.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
Bottas is locked up on turn 10. Guys,
Here's the
just
replay.
it's all kicking off in
Now,
this
just
Grand
watch
Prix. This
the
is crazy.
Mercedes here. Just a bit too heavy on the brakes.
He's got no
and
front
they've
wing.
locked up.
Oh, Bottas is toast.
And the team
No
has
spare front wings in that garage. Swing to the inside. Can't get the move done. I'm going to need some DRS to get through, some battery I think to get through, and I don't have any. So we'll go into charge mode.
See if we can focus on recharge, please.
Yep.
Verstappen dives out of the way. It's Norris into the pits. 22-second gap still to Ocon. This is going to be a tough result to eke out. Ocon's got pace this weekend, and he's got a very healthy lead. I don't think I was quick enough to put him into deploy mode there. I don't think we're going to get the move done. Russell trying everything to find a way through. Is he going to get him up the inside here? Yes, he is. There we go. Right, now we can see what kind of pace Russell's actually got.
Okay, buddy, nice work.
Against Ocon. Now that we're clear of sights. He's got more pace than sights. Has he got enough pace to reel in Ocon? What's Gasly doing? Gasly's doing 151 zeros. Ocon's doing a 151.7. I don't think Ocon... Oh no, it's a 50.3. Let's check the times across the line this time round. Russell a 49.9, but that was with some battery. Gasly a 50.7, so Gasly's actually half a second slower than Ocon. That's not good.
Charge on.
Copy.
Save a little touch of battery just to make sure I've got
Please recharge on.
slightly more than a full lap. Oh, Russell goes wide.
They've gone wide!
Ocon might win this race simply by virtue of not doing anything stupid. Because just about every other driver on the grid has done something stupid at some point.
So we will go recharge off.
Yeah.
Reminder, charge off.
Yeah.
And we can't really push the wets too much because they need to last the rest of the Grand Prix. The wear rate will be a little less than the prediction. So if that is a closing value of around 40%, we'll probably be closer to 50. But that's assuming we don't push the tyres. And I think as the track dries up, we'll see a swing in performance towards us. As Vettel holds up Russell a little bit there, doing a good wingman job for his teammate. Gasly is slowly but surely eking his way onto the back of these two. Another lockup. That's an AlphaTauri. Is that Albon?
I think there's been a lockup.
Yep.
Let's see what happened there. Now watch this. Here's the moment involving Albon. They've locked up, but that could have been much worse.
He kept that going quite nicely.
And that was a...
Minimal lost time there. Alright, so 147.9 for Ocon. Water level is dropping with every second. 146.7 for Russell. And 146.6 for Gasly. Lap times are going to be a little imprecise, given that the water level is going to fluctuate. So they're not really a true measure of whether we're gaining or losing ground. The real measure is just going to be over a period of time, whether that 20-second, 21-second gap gets smaller. And that will kind of be our barometer for pace. Another lockup. Is that Alonso behind us locking up? I think it is. Is that someone with him as well? Magnussen.
2 cars out.
Okay.
Magnussen has torpedoed Alonso by the look of it.
Oh no! And there's the crash. Mark my words, there'll be questions asked about that later.
Oh, can you imagine a real Formula One race with this much carnage? So Magnussen boxes. Has he got a spare front wing? Or is this going to be another car that's going to be trundling around slowly? Oh, looks like he's getting a new wing. Yep, there we go. Russell has dropped Sainz. It's a 1.4 second gap now. Does look to be slowly eking up onto the back of Ocon, but slow going. Gasly has got to work hard to catch onto the back of Sainz now. And he does not look to be closing. When it gets really, really wet like this, Gasly struggles slightly. His adaptability is, I think, in the low 80s. So I mean, it's better than a lot of the drivers on the grid, but it's not better than Sainz, it's not better than Russell, and I don't know if it's better than Ocon. So we need the water level to come down to about 6. About 6 mil is probably the ideal kind of range for our drivers to get the best out of the car. I thought Albon had another accident then. I just saw zeros on his timing. That he was getting overtaken or fighting with Leclerc. I'm not sure if he was overtaking or getting overtaken. But he's in front of Leclerc, so I'm guessing he was overtaking. So that Ferrari is just in really, really bad shape. The performance of that car is terrible. 16th in cornering. 16th and 17th in speed. It's just it's a pig. It's an absolute pig of a car. And as we scroll down, we see some of the drivers who've made mistakes. Obviously Magnussen has just served a penalty and put on fresh tyres and a fresh front wing. Ricciardo pootling around. He's had a little bit of drama. Stroll's been caught as a victim of Bottas, I think. There is Bottas, who has got no front wing left. Schumacher is just way down the order. I'm not quite sure why he's all the way down there. There's Vettel. He's still missing a chunk of his front wing. And there's Verstappen, who's missing most of his rear wing. And there is the race leader, 20 seconds ahead of Russell. Can Ocon get his second ever victory in Formula One? We're over halfway through the Grand Prix. It's entirely possible we can't catch him. I might have to push the tyres and hope that they can hang on. We'll see. Gasly is now starting to close up on Sainz. See a 151.3 for Ocon, a 151.0 for Russell, 152.2 for Sainz, and a 151.4 for Gasly. So Sainz's pace is really dropping away quite quickly at the moment, quite badly. His tyres are a bit more worn. I don't know if that's the reason. We do have a little bit of tyre leeway to Ocon. But as things stand, we are not going to make our sponsorship target, and we're going to lose about 1.3 mil. Alonso gets past for sure, but Alonso's got a lot of damage to his tyres. He must have been tagged by someone or something to have his tyres in that condition. I'm trying to remember if he had if he slapped the wall. He must have done. Or got no, he got banged by Magnussen, didn't he? So that's where he'll have picked up that damage. So the gaps are definitely coming down now. You can see Russell's got the gap down to 18.5 seconds. Lapped a second faster than Ocon on that last lap. Russell is very, very good in the wet in this career mode. Gasly not as good, but he's still also lapping almost a second faster than Ocon. And about a second faster than Sainz as well. That gap's down to just 3 seconds now. It's starting to dry up again. And it's threatening to go to... It's threatening to go to Inters. Ooh, now this is interesting. Do I go on to Inters or do I stay on the full wets? I'll have to keep an eye on this. A change to Inters could make or break the race. Depends if it stays dry enough, damp enough for Inters long enough to actually get good use out of them before having to switch back to full wets again. Because we are going to have to switch back to full wets again if we stop. It's just a question of how long we can run the Inters. And I don't know if we can run them long enough. We're almost fuel neutral as well, which means in the closing laps we will have some fuel to play about with. And now you can see Russell is absolutely storming. A second and a half faster than Ocon on that last lap. Don't think Ocon was dealing with traffic. There's nobody around him. And Gasly's going to be on Sainz next lap at this rate.
Okay, charge John.
Yeah.
Let's get him some battery so he can use that. It's that little spike again after lap 40 that's making me think that I might be better staying on on the wets? I don't know. It's a gamble. I think if I'm going to take the gamble, I'm going to take it with Gasly. So let's start pushing Gasly.
And we have margin to push a little bit more on the tires.
We'll take the gamble with Gasly because he's got more to gain and less to lose than Russell. Russell will react to Ocon. Gasly's definitely going to make the switch to Inters as soon as the track gets dry enough. It's got a 26-second gap to Vachor, which is enough to box and get out in front of him. So he's not going to drop a position unless he gets past Sainz, which he's probably going to do.
Okay, we need some deploy.
Copy.
Oh, Sainz with a very late chop across the front there. Can we go around the outside at turn 1? Nope. Can we try and squeeze through somewhere in the S's though? No, what about through exit from the Degners? Here we go. We'll get him up the inside maybe. Yeah, there we go. Sector 2, yellow flag.
We've just had a car run wide. Let's take a look
That's
at the
not
replay.
Sector 2.
Now watch this. Here's the moments involving Albon. Goodness me.
He's in
They're
a good old
completely off
scrap
the
with
racing
Leclerc.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Okay, 142.2 for Ocon. Russell's going to be even quicker. And 141.4. And 141.7 for Gasly. He spent most of the lap behind Sainz and is now in charge mode. But even so, should still pull away from him. Still not damp enough for Inters. But it does look like we are going to get a prolonged spell. That's going to be somewhere between 3 and 4. At the moment, I think we're just eating into the just eating into that little bit of reserve grip that we have compared to our competition. So I can abort the strategy change and keep him on the full wets if I want to. Going to go one more lap. Ocon is coming up to some traffic. That's Bottas and Schumacher in front. And Russell's just 14 seconds behind now. Another 7/10 gained on that last lap. As Bottas dives out of the way and gets lapped. Still saying it's going to be damp. Yeah, we're going to make the switch for Gasly and just hope that this pays off.
Box.
Another yellow flag at sector 2. Please don't be Gasly. No, it's not.
Oh, did someone run wide there?
Turn 1 is not sector 2.
Now look at this.
This is something that definitely needs to be fixed in the next game. So sick of it saying, oh, it's this sector, and it's completely the opposite part of the track. Right, is Ocon going to box? He is. So, Russell is going to box as well.
Let's box this lap, please.
Yes, box. Let's pick our pace up. Let's go. Copy.
And the whole field's going to come in. Look, there's a Mercedes out, Ferrari, McLaren.
Okay, recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
We're going to see more drivers start to dive in as well. There's a Haas crew out there. Sainz is in. There he is. Does not gain anything on us. We've got the gap down to 13 seconds and we can push the tyres because we know we have to switch back. So we can push the tyres and charge up at the same time. We're now into positive fuel territory as well, and because we are going to be going on to another set of wets, a new set of wets, we'll be able to push those as well.
We will keep an eye on tire temperatures.
So it looks as though we have now got the capacity to hunt down and catch and pass Ocon. Definitely with Russell and probably with Gasly. So we're looking at around lap 45, somewhere in that kind of window to box again for wets. There's for sure boxes, and so does Leclerc. So who's still on wets? Perez, Alonso, Albon, Porsche, Zhou, Tsunoda, Stroll, Schumacher and Verstappen, who for some bizarre reason is still going. Gasly is about ready to switch off the charge and start really closing the gap to Russell and pulling away from Sainz. We're 3 minutes away from slightly heavier weather, and there you can see wet weather now predicted for about 11 minutes time, maybe less than that.
Charge off, good job.
Yeah.
So Russell, despite charging, is actually slowly closing in. We've had another lockup. It said Sector 2, then Sector 1. It's a McLaren at the hairpin. Turn 11.
I think that was a crash.
Oh, it's
We can take a look
Ricciardo
now.
again.
Daniel Ricciardo involved here.
Did he hit the McLaren? Oh, just missed him. And that's going to be no replacement front wing for Ricciardo either. Because if Bottas hasn't got a spare front wing, Ricciardo certainly hasn't got one. So an absolute disaster for Mercedes here. Currently running 15th and 18th. But Red Bull and Ferrari not exactly doing much to capitalise on that. I mean, they're running 4th and 5th, but their second cars are 11th and 20th. And we are almost ready to turn off the charge on Russell's car. And the water level is starting to creep up. We might be boxing at the end of this lap.
Go recharge off when you're ready.
Okay.
This is the crucial moment. Perez is boxing. Is he ditching wets for inters at just the wrong point? He is. Oh, Perez. So many strange strategy calls. And the weather's kind of slowed down again. Maybe we'll stick it out for another lap. See what happens. That's Bottas. Getting lapped again. Still just about preferable for Inter tyres. And Russell half a second faster than Ocon. But the laps are ticking down. And we've had another lockup, and that is a Haas. And it's Magnussen, I think.
There's been a crash. Let's see what happened there. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here. Thank goodness nobody else was involved. That was a big crash.
And that's the crash into the wall that we didn't get on Thursday.
The team are really disappointed with that.
Still no retirements though. Which is the crazy thing. Albon and Alonso are both boxing. I know Alonso's tyres are pretty much toast. We've kind of got to box this lap, I think.
Box this lap, box.
Albon's just put on inters. Alonso puts on fresh wets. Ocon stays out. Stroll is still in the pits. And he's just gone on to inters as well, so those guys are going to have to come back in almost immediately. So now we're in that kind of moment, because it could well dip back below 4 mil, which it's already threatening to do. But if it stays just over 4 mil, then these are definitely going to be the right tyres. Sainz is boxing as well. We hold position against Sainz. Who I think has also gone full wets. He has. And the full wets will still work pretty well just below 4 mil. Not optimal kind of conditions really, but they won't be horrible. But if it gets much drier, they will struggle.
Pull down the tires where you can.
Copy.
So, what's the gap? It's 32 seconds. Ideally, we need that to close a little bit, even while it's like this. We're now 4 minutes away from full-on heavy rain. And we've got 11 more laps after this one. And another yellow flag.
Yellow flag.
Here's the replay. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo is...
So many mistakes.
What a spin out!
Okay, so 31.2 seconds. It's a little bit too damp at the moment. It's not quite wet enough for us to really get good pace out of these tyres. And they will run hot like this, as you can see. Alright, Zhou and Alonso are stopping. Hang on, Alonso just put on full... Has he gone back to inters? They're going for inters just as it's about to turn full wet. Yep, Zhou's gone on inters. So Alonso was in a really promising position not that long ago, and now he's in 17th and he's going to have to stop again. I wonder if it gets much later before this wet weather. Here it comes. Here comes the wet weather. Because if it takes much longer, I wonder if Ocon would actually stay out on the inters.
No lift and coast required from our side at the moment.
Now we need to capitalise. Now that we're in the conditions where it's favouring our tyres over Ocon's Inters. Now is the time for us to really start pushing. Is Ocon boxing? No, Ocon is staying out. Is he going to try and run to the flag on Inters? He's got a 30-second gap. We still technically haven't hit the really heavy rainfall. But it's not looking good if he stays out. He's going to get swallowed up so fast. Here comes the really heavy rain now. That gap is going to start bleeding. He's going to lose so much ground now. You can see how he's just tiptoeing through the corners now. Russell taking huge chunks of time out of the lead. The track is getting wetter and wetter. I think we might actually jump him if he does box. The amount of time he's losing, it's entirely possible we'll be able to jump him here. Gap's down to 25 seconds. Joe boxes. Ocon's got to box, surely. Look how slow he is through the chicane. He does box. The gap is just 22 seconds. The cars behind Ocon are probably going to follow him in. They do. Is this going to give us a clear bit of track, or is Schumacher going to be in the way? Oh, he's getting held in the pits.
DRS disabled. DRS disabled.
Yeah, Roger.
That Russell's through, surely. Russell's through. What about Gasly? He's going to come out behind Ocon. There's Verstappen with his broken rear wing. We've had a lock-up. It's just 5 seconds off. It's game on.
And that's the lockup! Let's take a look at the replay. Now let's look at this. The focus on Tsunoda. And there's the lockup. It almost got away from them entirely.
I barely even noticed that lockup. Okay, I think that's Stroll in front. Yeah, it is, because Albon's going into the box. As Schumacher dives out of the way. Costs us a little bit of time. 7 laps to go. Got to go full attack with Gasly.
Let's go for it.
Oh, it's a lock-up for Russell. He's in the barrier. Oh, disaster. Come on, get going, get going. Go, 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 go. Don't you dare retire on me.
Crashed out. Let's have a look. Now let's look at this. Here's George Russell. A definite collision.
How bad's the damage? He's still stuck there. Come on, move.
We can take a look.
What the hell? Come on, finally.
See the Williams.
Finally gets going.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained the
All that hard work.
Alright, let's push.
And now I absolutely have to push him out flat out. Which I really didn't want to do, because I didn't want to risk that happening.
Six more laps.
So we're going to fail the sponsor objective. We're not going to get the 1-2 with Russell winning the race and Gasly in second. The win is still on for Gasly. Russell is going to be lucky to get on the podium. There is Ocon. Got another big squirt of rain due in a minute or so.
Five more laps.
2 seconds the gap.
Ciao, John.
Okay.
Here comes that extra squirt of water. And Russell just isn't making progress on Sainz.
Okay.
I don't think Russell's got enough left to fight. I think that wing damage is causing more time loss than I thought it would. It's only minor front wing damage, but Russell just all of a sudden has no pace. Meanwhile, Gasly has caught up. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Is that something happening behind us?
Who's running wide there?
That's Magnussen.
Let's take a closer look. Now just focus on the hats.
Oh,
Going wide like that,
Christ, he nearly took out Russell then.
time.
Three more laps, 3 more laps.
It's staying tucked up. Getting some battery back in the car for a final lunge. I think that's Bottas in front, but it could be Ricciardo. I think that's Ricciardo. Yeah, that is Ricciardo.
Oh, you can use the deploy.
Yeah.
Oh, another lockup for George. Don't bring out a safety car. Don't you dare bring out a safety car.
Seems to have been a lockup. Let's see what happened there. Now we see the Williams here. And yes, that's the lockup.
No, at least he kept it out the wall. As Gasly swoops on through 130R. That's a great move.
And that's currently P1.
Let's immediately turn the tyre pace down. Do not want to have a repeat. Of Russell.
Okay.
And we're just going to bring it home. Russell's got no chance now catching sights.
Okay, we'd like you to slow down, please. Copy.
Look at that! They've run wide!
Gasly just getting a little bit of battery just in case there's some late drama. And it's going to be a much needed win for Gasly. to try and keep his faint title hopes alive. I can't remember the last time Russell made a mistake of this kind of magnitude.
Charge off.
Copy.
As Ocon has a look around 130R into the Casio triangle. Can't get it done under
Okay, we
braking.
need some deploy.
Yeah.
Make sure we don't run out of fuel.
Lift off for the fuel.
Okay.
Let's get a good launch.
One more lap.
And there we go. As we head up to Spoon for the last time. Let's make sure Ocon doesn't get a run at us through 130R. Through the Casio triangle for one final time as we round the final corner. Gasly is going to pick up another win. It's been a while since he's been able to pull out significant points on Russell,
And it's Gasly, first over the line.
but he's going to
and
manage it
today's
today.
winner.
Russell going to limp home for fourth after hitting the wall at turn 10 and then locking up at the same corner a few laps later. After all that hard work to reel in
Okay,
Ocon,
that's the checker flag.
it was looking an absolute slam
Oh, very
dunk
good today.
for win number 10.
Absolutely, good job. Pick up as well.
And it just kind of went away from him. So there we see Vettel and Verstappen lapped twice, everyone else up to and including Ricciardo lapped once, with Norris almost lapped. Only a couple of corners away from actually being lapped.
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars. Everyone involved in Formula One dreams of seeing their driver up there on the podium. The Frenchman was in sublime form today, fully deserving of his podium finish here. But there we see the three drivers with the biggest haul of points. And of course, the silverware to boot. A very impressive showing today for Williams.
They do say success breeds success, and I'm sure the team will be hoping that holds true.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
Coming up next, we'll be crossing the pond all the way to Texas for the twists and turns of the United States Grand Prix.
So there we go, there's our final classification. Gasly getting 17 places, takes the win. Ocon, a fantastic race for him. Took advantage of that early accident and opened up a 20-second lead. 22 seconds at one point, 23 seconds, somewhere in that region. We chipped away at it slowly, bit by bit with Russell. And then we were able to capitalise by boxing at just the right point on the full wets, getting that extra lap or two against Ocon on the inters to come out 6 seconds ahead of him, only to then throw it away. How often have we said that this year? You know, more so with Aston Martin than with Williams, but yeah, it seems that we are not immune from silly little fuck-ups on this campaign either. Carlos Sainz gets himself on the podium, getting 3 spots. Good race for Leclerc. Ferrari recovering quite nicely after a poor race for them, and a great recovery for Perez as well, up 14 spots after a pretty poor race for him. He just managed to keep himself out of trouble and didn't make any stupid tyre choice decisions, unlike some other drivers who were involved in either drama or bad tyre choices, or both. We look further down, you can see Magnussen having an absolute nightmare, Bottas, Verstappen, Vettel, all having disastrous races. Ricciardo only losing 1 place in the end, but again, running well, could have done so much better. Stroll, unfortunate, he was caught up in that kind of drama with Bottas. Alonso also caught up in some drama through no fault of his own. There we go. Let's see what that does to the Drivers' Championship. So the gap is down to just 40 points now. It still looks like George is going to win the title, but it's not mathematically certain yet. Gasly will keep fighting. George missing out on win number 10. Gasly picking up win number 7. So still just those 2 races that we haven't won this year, and we are still winning every last to first race that we've taken part in so far since Spa. No points for Max. Big points for Carlos Sainz and for Leclerc as well. They really do close the gap on Max in that hunt for 3rd spot. Sainz now just 7 points off, and Charles Leclerc only a further 3 behind. Another bad race for Bottas. Spending most of the race without a front wing. He loses a lot of ground to the Ferrari drivers, and also to Perez. Perez taking a bit of ground out of him. Are we going to see Red Bull get above Mercedes in that little fight there? We'll have to see as the rest of the season progresses. Ocon, good points for him. Closes him up to the back of Perez. He's going to hit triple digits. Now that's pretty much looking like a certainty now. Norris picks up a point. We get points for Albon and Zhou. Zhou unfortunately just not able to capitalise on some good running earlier in the race. And points for Vasseur as well, which is a big jump for him. Jumps him up 2 places above Vettel and Stroll. In the Constructors, Williams have already won the Constructors' Championships. There's no way we're going to be caught now. We have a 365-point lead with just 4 races to go. So, yeah, that championship's already ours. But in the battle for second, Ferrari take the initiative and score big points over Red Bull to stretch that gap out. And you have to say Ferrari now in pole position to take that second place in the championship. They've got one hand on that second place runners-up medal. Red Bull really kind of throwing things away. No points for Mercedes. They weren't really going to catch Red Bull, but they're not going to be caught by Alpine either. So no real dramas or changes for them. Big points for Alpine. Pretty much all but guarantees them now 5th place ahead of McLaren. But they are not safe from Haas. Bashore's points do close that gap to just 9. And AlphaTauri trying to hunt down Aston Martin and see if they can squeeze themselves off the bottom of the table. It's going to be tight between these 3 teams going into the last couple of races. We lost a big chunk of sponsorship money because we failed the position gain, which was worth $1.5 million. And we also failed the finish position as a result as well. Still, we still walk away with just under $4 million. And our side pod research project is now complete. Let's take a look at our inbox, clear through that. Factory is in poor condition, so we need to give that a refurb. But it's already going through an upgrade, so we don't have to worry about that. Got 35 mil in the bank. I can now afford an upgrade. It's just a question of which one do I want. That one's going to take a lot longer than the other one. That's going to take 4 months. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the wind tunnel. Staff facilities, scouting department is still 20 odd days off. Everything here is fine. Tour center is about to break. We can do that when it comes up. Do we have any points? Yes, Tondi has another point. Let's see, where do I want to put this for next season? I'll put it in cooling. Try and make sure those brakes and side pods are really functioning well on next season's car. Driver points, no points for George or Pierre or Oliver, because he did not really get much of a run as we blew up that engine. Let's have a look. Car development. So we've got 3 projects still going. We've got 5 engineers available for a new research project. Let's see. There's no reg changes on the rear wing, but we haven't done a rear wing project yet. It's 21 days until the next ATR period. How long would a new rear wing take, just out of interest? Because this is what I'm thinking of doing when we get the new ATR period. I could do that in 58 days. Might just be able to squeeze another project in if I did that. So with that in mind, I've done 4 chassis projects. Let's have a look at another side pod upgrade. Five engineers on this should be reasonably quick. Full 40 days. Okay, we can do 40 days. That'll still leave me enough time, I think, to do a front wing. So to do a rear wing. Let's see. How long do I have on other projects, and when do I have next hours available? "21 days till the next ATR period, and 18 days till the suspension is done." That's only got 1 engineer on it. That's going to go till November. Also till November. Alright, let's leave that underfloor alone, but we'll take an engineer or two. I'll take one engineer off the front wing project to give me 6 engineers. Which is the most you can throw on a project. We'll do a new side pod. We'll slap everything up. We'll go all 6 engineers, and that'll take me 38 days. Actually, no, let's just do 2 engineers. I will save the other engineers for when the suspension completes, and then we'll be a couple of days wait until the ATR period, and then we can do that big rear wing for next season as well. Right, that's the research taken care of. Let's have another look at the inbox. It's recommending Lisa Vincent. That's a driver I've not seen before. It's definitely a new gen. She's 49, rated, 20 years old. It's not great. I'm scouting a few more drivers yet. Okay. I think that's pretty much all we can really get done. Let's advance time to the next Grand Prix. Let's check stock, actually. We are okay on stock. Boardroom is upgraded. Nothing yet broken to be fixed. Oh, now it is. There we go. So we'll refurb the tour centre. There we go. And that is everything we can get done before the start of the next Grand Prix. So that's where we're going to leave tonight's stream. We've seen Gasly take some steps towards hunting down his teammate, trying to hang on to his title, but I think still it's going to go to George at the end of the season. 40 points is still a lot to close up. Yeah, I mean, if George has a retirement, it's game on. But 40 points is a big gap to try and close up. He's going to need to win pretty much every race and outscore Russell by 10 points in every race. And then if they finish tied, he'll win it on count back because he'll have more wins than George. But it's unlikely that's going to happen, I think. You know, George has been supreme all season, and that's been, I think, the first real mistake he's made this season that's cost him, you know, several places. So it's looking as though it is definitely going to be George Russell that wins the title. Pierre will fight all the way till the end of the season, and we will pick up the next instalment of their fight on Friday. Touch wood, assuming I'm still feeling up to it, I will be streaming COTA with our Aston Martin file tomorrow night. So do please join me for that. If you can hear some weird noises in the background, I've got 2 cats going at it outside my window. Apologies if you can hear that. But until then, thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll see you all again with some more F1 Manager very soon.